What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Blazers Uprise post-game show. The Blazers lose a pivotal Game 3. They give up home court advantage, and they cannot get the job done at home. They now trail the series 2-1 after giving up 120 points. The Denver Nuggets, they lose by a score of 121-15. Bro, I don't even know what to say. This is just the Blazers struggling in the playoffs against an inferior team that has injuries, all right? That's simply what this is. This is their style of play biting them in the butt. I don't know, man. Eric, I'll just let you start this off, and then I'll just bounce off that because I can't even think out an intro right now because I'm so pissed off about this game.
Are we for sure live?
Mm-hmm.
Just my computer.
Yeah, we're live. Should be live.
It says waiting for Blazers Uprise on mine.
Chat, are we live? I mean, they're saying your face says it all, so... I mean, I think they can see your face. So.
Weird.
Don't know. Yeah, we're live. We got... Can you hear me?
I can hear you
on
my speakers, but not on YouTube.
Okay, we're live, Eric.
Are you in a different link?
I don't know. So YouTube was glitching out. We are live right now. We are live. The link that might have been the original link might have been glitching out. YouTube's been glitching out, but we got 170 people in here, so I don't know what's going on your end, Eric. But we are indeed live.
I don't see a single person talking about us or responding to if they can see us or not.
Okay, yeah, I see like 100 saying that we're live, so I will send you the link. I'll try to send you this link. Maybe it's a different link, but yeah. Yeah, I think it is a different link. So sorry, YouTube glitched out. Was doing some weird stuff. Nothing controllable on my end, but...
Oh, there we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
We should probably find a way to update all our other links.
I don't know what happened. It like refreshed its trade deadline stream or something. I don't know. It was doing some weird stuff. But yeah, so what's going on, everybody?
There's still like 80 some people in the other one.
Yeah, well, if you could tell them, I'll try and post that link and we'll just get everything together here, I guess. Good old YouTube, man. Can you post links as mod, Eric?
I don't know. I tried in the other one. I'm not sure if it shows up or not, but
okay. Alright, well, let's try and get those people over here, and then we'll just redo the intro. Maybe I'll have a better intro this time, guys. I don't know. I don't even see the one you're talking about to post in.
There's Jackson.
Yeah, this is just YouTube problems, guys. We can't control this at all, so apologies. This is just YouTube being dumb.
Alright, updated.
Alrighty. You ready to go?
Yeah.
So, we'll just cut this out if anybody's watching this afterwards. What's going on, everybody? Blazers lose 121-15 in a pivotal Game 3. We have you covered on the post-game show. The Blazers get home court advantage, get 8,000 fans in the building. The Moda Center was rocking. But the Blazers still lost. This is a tough loss. They now give up home court advantage. Denver leads the series 2-1. This is a series in which the Blazers, I still think, are the more talented team, but it doesn't matter. They are losing to a less talented lineup with injuries, right? You know how for a while we heard, what can you do with injuries? And people were excusing Terry Stotts' coaching because we were injured. Well, I hope those same people are criticizing Terry Stotts because the other team is injured and we're healthy and we're losing the series 2-1, man. We gave up home court advantage. This was basically what I was expecting. Let me Eric, I just want to get one topic of conversation out of the way, like one rant, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We cannot play Enes Kanter in this series, man. Him subbing in Enes Kanter at the 5-minute mark left in the first quarter changed the entire momentum and complexion of this game, and we were fighting from behind ever since. He subs Enes Kanter in, they immediately go on like a 14-0 run because Enes Kanter is hopeless on the boards, he's hopeless defensively, he's not a factor offensively in this series. We said that going into this game, man. But what happens? Stotts, for whatever reason, subs him in earlier than ever. Nurkic was playing well at the start of this game. Through the first 7 minutes, was killing it. And for some reason, he gets subbed out earlier, and Enes Kanter gets subbed in, and we just get eviscerated, bro. We get absolutely eviscerated. And ever since then, it's us fighting uphill. And then Stotts still subs him back in the second half when it's obvious that you cannot play Kanter in this series. Bro, like the
and
Billy Donovan...
Go on a run.
Yeah, the Billy Donovan can't play Kanter thing. You can't play Kanter in this series, man. Jokic is eating him up. If Jokic isn't on the floor, he's guarding a Paul Millsap or JaMychal Green. He guards JaMychal Green after Jokic gets subbed out in his first stint, and JaMychal Green hits 2 threes on him because Kanter has nowhere... Kanter can't guard stretch bigs. He can't guard Jokic. There is no reason to have him on the floor. But he still gets subbed in the second half, even though it's absolutely obvious that he shouldn't be playing. And what does he do immediately, Eric? Gives up an offensive rebound to Jokic and then flagrant fouls him. Like, dude, I just want to get this out of the way. This is normally something we'd save. But my goodness, it's so obvious. And it was obvious going into this game. And I said it last game. And guess what happens after he finally wakes up? Even though everybody in the stadium, the other team, my mother, if she was watching this game, would be like, that guy shouldn't be on the court. She doesn't even really watch the Blazers, man. Everybody realized that Kanter should not be in the game. Stotts was the last one to realize he shouldn't be in the game. Well, there's some Stotts supporters that think that he had to play him. But what happens? He subs out Kanter, brings in Rondae Hollis-Jefferson. Immediately, the defense is better, bro. I don't know. I am so pissed off that we're playing Kanter. I'm so pissed off that we subbed him in so early in the first quarter. I think that changed the entire complexion of this game because I liked the way the Blazers were playing. They were only up 6, but the way they were playing, the energy they had was phenomenal. If we put in a Derrick Jones Jr. or Rondae Hollis-Jefferson at that point to maintain that energy, we were playing at a pretty fast pace. We were flying around defensively. I think we win this game. But he subs in Kanter, and it immediately ruins the entire game, bro. There's stuff to complain on outside of that, but I thought that was just him coming out. We were moving the ball. First 7 minutes, I was happy with the style of play. And then he subs in Kanter and literally just ruins the entire thing and possibly ruins the season, ruins our playoffs because he cannot adjust and he insists on playing Enes Kanter when he has players that he can use. He can run Rocco as a small ball 5, especially against Paul Millsap or JaMychal freaking Green, bro. You think Rocco... Terry, you think Rocco can't guard JaMychal Green and instead Kanter can? Like, what is he thinking, man? Oh, I'm so frustrated. I hate that. I hate that Kanter's playing. If Kanter plays next game, bro, I might break my TV. I cannot handle that because it's so obvious to everybody except for Terry Stotts.
Here's the problem. So what has Kanter done? Is he rebounding well in the series?
Nope.
Is he scoring well in this series?
Nope.
So what the heck is the point of putting out a lineup with Melo, Kanter, Lillard, Simons? You have an offensive lineup out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's all offense, right?
Mm-hmm.
We scored 1 freaking point for 5 minutes with an offensive lineup. We're not even doing good on offense with that lineup. So why not just throw in all defenders? At least maybe you can get some stops and you won't be down by like 13 by the end of that stretch, right?
Mm-hmm.
We scored 4 points the last 5 minutes of the first quarter. And it was because one was on a free throw by Melo and one was on a three-pointer that Dame thought he got fouled on and hucked it at the rim, and it just happened to go in. Otherwise, we did not score a single basket that entire stretch. So not only do we have the worst possible defensive personnel in the game, but we don't even score on offense to compensate or maybe trade buckets or tread water with that lineup in there. There is no point in playing that lineup ever again. It has been obvious for months, if like at the worst case, weeks, but he went to this 8-man lineup and it worked because we played inferior teams once again and they were all injured and missing people, and we were desperate to win to avoid that 7th seed, and we caught a little bit of fire there. And then everyone's like, "Oh, we got to stick with this 8-man rotation. It's so good. This turned around our season." When in reality, it was just we have a really good starting lineup, and they saved our butts. And it's ridiculous that when we need stops in games, we can't even go to that. And our offense, I mean, yeah, we score 115, but like honestly, with like a minute left or something, we were at like 103 or something. We'd made a bunch of threes at the end. So our offense was absolutely terrible. Once again, we didn't do anything to free up Dame. We just ran the same boring ISO, dribble handoff, and then dribble handoff into pick and roll, dribble handoff into ISO. Whenever he's off ball, that's all it is a dribble handoff. It's not anything creative to get him open shot. It's just a different way to get him into the same stupid crap. And this guy told us, he told us before the game that he wasn't going to make adjustments, and he sure stuck with it. He only made an adjustment rotation-wise after he put Cantor back in the second half, when every single person who watched the first 2.5 quarters of this game knew you better not put Cantor back in this game. You better not do it. And this guy did it anyway. And we probably lost the game just for that couple minute stretch that Cantor was in the game right there. And it's so frustrating that like he just continues to like put his team in the worst possible position. I cannot think of a worse thing than having your coach make it harder for your team to win every game. And we have these incredible players like Dame who can make shots and stuff, but like you saw tonight, he's not hitting these incredibly tough threes, like step backs with a guy in his face. We can't help it. Dame went cold. What are we supposed to do? Well, you could get him better shots than having to shoot a contested three every freaking time. And this is what we've been talking about all year. This guy does not know how to coach the game. It's passed him by. He might have been good at one point, but he is absolutely killing this franchise right now, and he needs to go. He needs to go before our next game. It's not going to happen, but this guy is absolutely destroying any chance we've had in the Dame era.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's like my whole thing was like, let's just wait and see the game. I'm not expecting him to change much, but I'm not going to get worked until it happens, because I was expecting to be pretty worked up tonight. And what happened, it's the same crap. I mean, it's literally everything I've been saying for a long, long time. He doesn't know what else to do offensively. Literally, here's the thing that's just so, like, annoying, man, is, like, they'll move the ball well sometimes, but it's still not creative, bro. Like, all they were doing is giving the ball to Nurkic and then running, like, a split cut away, like, almost every time, and then somebody coming in for a handoff. That's literally all they ran. The ball movement was solid, I thought, in the first 7 minutes. But it's like, if they take away, that split cut, it just ends up in dribble handoff anyway. Like, our off-ball action is non-existent, and it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Bro, in my record, I could go out there with 4 of you in chat right now and play some pickup basketball, and I'll get you running better off-ball movement than Terry Stotts can get his NBA team running, which is absolutely ridiculous, bro. Absolutely ridiculous. And anybody that plays with me knows that I'm not even exaggerating. That's the sad part. That is the sad part on that, man. I mean, dude, just this style of offense does not translate to the playoffs. No matter who you have at the forward spots, right? If this was yesteryear, it'd be like, Al-Farouq Aminu and Maurice Harkless, man, they just can't make shots. We need a Robert Covington. That's what people used to say. We need a Norman Powell, a 40% three-point shooter averaging 19 a game before he came here, right? Well, those are our forwards. Guess what? Our offense still is not good in the playoffs. 103 points? with a minute left against the Nuggets defense? Are you kidding me, man? This is a trash Nuggets defense. This Nuggets defense is not good, bro. They're playing Jokic. They're playing 5'10" Campazzo. Say all you want about him being a pest or whatever. He's not a good defender, man. He's not a good defender. They're out there playing Michael Porter Jr., who's awful. There is no reason they should be holding us to 103 points with the offensive talent we have. But why are they? Because we're stagnant. We don't have good actions off the ball with our off-ball players. Almost everything, unless it's Nurkic throwing a dime to like Dame and CJ working on a split cut and one of them back cutting. Unless it's that, it's dribble handoff. You know, and sometimes they're able to get good ball movement out of freelance. But bro, like our sets, our offense is so rat ball-y. Like it's just garbage, man. Like if we're not going to play some defense, if we're going to play Enes Kanter and Carmelo Anthony together, if we're going to sub in Kanter early into this game for some reason and match him up against Jokic and then not help him, like, bro, all that stuff is inexcusable. But if you're going to do that, at least give ourselves a chance to outscore them. But we don't even have that, bro. Sure, we can maybe make more shots and then you combine the shots at the end, yada. Well, why does it always come down to us missing shots in the playoffs? Because we're not getting good shots and the offense has no rhythm and there's no comfort in the offense because the offense is so rudimentary. Bro, like, that's literally what it boils down to. And it's how he coaches and it's not going to change now and it's why he got to go. People say this dude is an offensive genius, Eric. He's not an offensive. Like, what do people... Oh, I'm sorry, I'm ranting so much. But what do people see that makes them think this dude is an offensive genius? Like, it's just the... Oh, goodness. I'm, like, losing my train of thought. I'm ranting too much. Like, I'm just so pissed off just at everything with this game. And I saw it coming, and I wish I was surprised.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at this game as one game, you could say... Oh, they made shots. We missed shots. We shot way worse than we normally do. They shot way better than they normally do from three. What? Yada, 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 right? But I'm sick of hearing that. There's a reason why we've heard that so many times the last couple of years and throughout these playoff runs and stuff like that. The reason is we have no accountability and discipline, and our rotations are terrible on defense. So we give up open shots to people that we shouldn't give open shots to. And then on the offensive end, like you said, we don't run good enough sets to get good enough shots. And this is a common theme. We take bad shots on one end, we give up good shots on the other end. That is why teams make shots against us and we miss shots. It has nothing to do with, oh, it's just law of averages, we just got unlucky this game, blah, blah, blah. You can't keep saying that. And if you want proof of this, listen to Yusuf Nurkic quote after this game. We can't keep saying next one. And obviously they made shots, but they made shots all game. And if something isn't working out, we can't keep jacking up threes. I believe in this team, but it don't mean S if we don't execute. So yeah, even Nurk is saying that, like, you can't just chalk it up to them making shots. We continue to do the same crap, and it doesn't work out, and we continue to do it, and it's got to drive some of these players crazy. And I hope they're starting to turn on Stotts, because they've defended him for too long, and he needs to go. Tori, are you muted?
I'm muted, bro. Okay. Thank you, chat. I was typing, so don't wanna give you guys that background noise for Eric. But okay, guys, chat. Eric, who is their rim protector?
Jokic, I guess.
It's freaking Nikola Jokic, bro. With their bench lineup, who is their rim protector? 36-year-old, 6'8" Paul Millsap? Bruh, attack the rim, man. 45% of our shots are threes, bro. We shot some terrible threes this game, just settling for threes in the second half, at the start of it especially. It's just, let's just settle for contested shot after contested shot after contested shot. And people were on CJ for it, but it was Norman Powell too, and it was Carmelo Anthony before he got hot. Yeah, he got hot and his efficiency line looks good, but I mean, he settled for a couple bad shots, bad jumpers to start this game. Yeah, like, it's everybody. I'm not even gonna single like one person out here. It's literally everybody. We're just settling for contested jumper after contested jumper. And it's like, bro, attack Jokic, attack Millsap. Quit being soft, man. I hate that. I hate when we're just missing threes. Well, if you're missing threes, attack their below average rim protector. Attack their 6'8", 36-year-old. Come on, man. I hate that. 45% of our shots were threes.
What happened the 2 times Rocco cut in the first quarter?
I'm seeing too much red to remember anything right now.
We got 2 lands off 2 passes from Nurk.
Mm-hmm.
What happened when Simons finally cut in the second quarter?
Bruh, we got an alley-oop to Simons. Let's go, man.
Alley-oop lay into Simons, finally, right? How many more cuts did you see the rest of the game? Like, how many times did we try to exploit the basket on anything other than the ball handler just willing himself to the basket?
Here's the problem.
A few times, but yeah.
Here's the problem. They started pressuring Nurk, and they started taking away that backdoor cut. That's literally all they have to do to shut down our offense.
Yep.
Because what happens when that happens? Well, they come and dribble handoff, right? So literally, all they have to do is work on taking away back cuts when Nurkic has the ball up top and figure out how to defend the pick and roll. If teams can do that, they'll beat us in the playoffs no matter how less talented they are than us, which the Denver Nuggets are. No matter how bad they are defense, there's a reason that we're struggling to score against a very mediocre defense. There's a reason that in the playoffs, our offense regresses every year, no matter who we have, no matter who we face. Okay? And it's because that's all you got to do to shut it down. You got to pressure Nurkic up top when he has the ball, and you got to take away one of the back cuts. You got to guard the split action with Dame and CJ. And then it's just going to turn into dribble handoff every single time down the floor. And you guard that. That's all you got to do. But like the only way we're saving that is if Dame hits a bunch of contested threes, if CJ hits contested threes, if Norm hits contested threes. Sure, if we shoot 50% from 3, we probably win this game tonight. You know what I mean? But like, that's like in spite of the coaching, because we're not getting good shots. It's like everything's just forcing jumper after jumper after jumper. Do you guys see the problem, chat? That's how it happens in the playoffs.
And the thing is, in the possessions that Aaron Gordon was guarding Dame, you know what we did? The same freaking thing we did in the second half of last game. Just let Dame try to create and stuff.
Yep.
And Dame's good enough to create sometimes, but we didn't make any adjustment. We didn't have any play for it. We didn't have anything. It was as simple as the Blazers thought they were freaking good enough and talented enough to just show up because they didn't show up in freaking game 2. They thought, oh, we just have to show up for this one. We have the home fans. We're going to be jacked. Our effort just has to match theirs. It's never been about the effort. It's never been about the level of aggression, even though those are horrible. It's because the coaching is so bad. We are at such a disadvantage against these teams, and it's ridiculous to have this talented of a roster and to be talking about this once again, how we do not make any changes in a playoff series. We don't do anything different. I mean, yeah, you play a Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, and Stotts will listen to that later. He's trying to act like he did something special. Like, dude, he had no choice but to put Hollis-Jefferson in this game for Cantor at that point. Like, he had no choice. He could not leave Cantor in the game. So
Eric, he couldn't play Cantor in the first place, but he still did.
I mean, that's obvious. But
bro, I hope nobody's giving him credit for that shit.
No, I saw a quote where he's trying to take credit for switching it up in the second half. Well, we'll have to listen to that press conference later. But, I mean, this is just, I mean, it's frustrating because the Blazers almost win in spite of basically just rolling the ball out there and hoping they do better this game. That was literally their game plan. In the freaking playoffs, against the team you should beat, they thought they could just walk on the court and win. They had no, like, tactical adjustment. Like Stott said, I don't need to make any tactical adjustments. Well, no crap, because you don't even freaking know what to do. Like, you have no clue. You don't even know what a tactical adjustment is, and you would never be able to make one because you don't know how to coach. So, like, this is just ridiculous. See, I cannot believe we are talking about Terry Stotts being this bad of a coach still after 8 years of this crap. 9 years of this crap.
Yeah.
Ugh, I'm losing my voice because I'm so mad.
Good. I honestly, that's how people know we're real, man. I mean, Like, this is real frustration. And this is the frustrations we had with the team before we ever started doing this YouTube channel. You know, before we ever created this platform. And it's the same problem that's plagued the team year after year after year. And it's why he's very likely going to get fired. We lose the series, he is gone. Thank goodness, man. At least, if we lose this damn series, at least we'll be able to celebrate something. You know what I mean? Because I am so tired of this. I am so done with this. Like, oh, God. It's... Defensively, Eric, it's let's drop, let's not double. If we double, we'll have no idea where to be on the backside because we hardly double all year, so we have no idea how to do it anyway. And then it's like, we'll like hedge one possession, and it'll be our best offensive possession of the game, and then we'll stop doing it. You know what I mean? Like, I tweeted out a video. We randomly like hedged and then threw a double at Jokic because the hedge like slowed down their possession. You know, stop their pick and roll, and they were running out of shot clock time, and then we throw a double at Jokic with 5 seconds left. He has no choice but to shoot a turnaround jumper, and we get a great stop, bro. It's just like, that'll randomly happen once a game, and it's like, wow. Completely, like, that team looked like a good defensive team. You know what I mean? But then it's just go back to the soft crap, not switching up looks. If we do run something different at this point in the year, like, it might be better, but we haven't really done much different all year long. So these guys are going to be ready to execute the details. You know what I mean? They're not going to be in the perfect position defensively. But what's funny is, like, just basic man-to-man off-ball defense we can't get down. So maybe that's why he hasn't done it, because he has no idea how to coach defense. I mean, how many times this game did you see somebody help one pass away, overhelp one pass away for no reason? So many times
like
this game.
15, yeah.
It's just so stupid. It's stupid mistakes like that. Bro, that wouldn't fly in middle school basketball, all right? If, you know, I assume we maybe got some middle schoolers watching this. If you do that in middle school, guess what? You will get reprimanded more than our players do in the NBA, okay? Don't sag off your guy when you're one pass away by 15 feet to help a guy driving. The thing is, most of the time, the help wasn't even needed. It was like Anthony would stay in front of Marcus Howard, and then somebody one pass away would help 15 feet off, and they just kick out to the shooter. Bang, 3. It's like, oh, it's so dumb. Like, backside rotations, Eric.
2 of the 3 threes that Rivers hit in a row were because of that, too.
Yeah, it's just one pass away, and then backside rotations. It's like the wrong guy is helping. We'll have like 2 defenders over there, and both will help, or one will help, and the other one won't rotate out to the kick-out pass. It's just such stupid defensive basketball. Like, this team is so lost defensively. It's so obvious that our coaching staff, A, doesn't know how to scheme defensively, B, doesn't even know how to teach basic defensive principles, and then C, the offense is complete garbage too. Like, this is just a complete utter failure of the coaching staff, and this is exactly what we've been warning you guys all season long. And look, I'm glad we got a good matchup, Eric, because now maybe some people will see it's not that we faced the Lakers last year. It's not necessarily that we had injuries last year. Now we got all this talent. We're the more talented team, and it's the same exact thing. Who told you that was coming? We did.
I don't know, man. I'm seeing a lot of Olshey doesn't give Stotts more than 7 players he can play on a roster, so I'm seeing a lot of that.
Bruh, they're playing freaking Campazzo and Marcus Howard on a 2-way. Like, if anybody's saying that, they're a complete moron.
Yeah,
they're so biased towards Olshey.
Like, an analyst. Yep.
Bruh, they played Marcus Howard 9 minutes tonight. They played Shaq Harrison 5 minutes tonight. Like, bruh, I don't get it. They're playing Campazzo 30 minutes a game. Man. Oh, God, dude. Like, oh, my goodness, man.
I'm fully... Because Nurk, before he fouled out, started trapping a lot, and I'm convinced he just went rogue again. Like, it didn't look like that was the plan. It looked like he was just doing that because he thought it was best for it. But yeah.
Bro, I mean, Nurkic just like kind of said the same stuff we've been saying at points this season. And that quote that you had earlier, if you missed the quote, Nurkic was quoted as saying, we can't keep saying next one. And obviously they made shots, but they made shots all game. And if something isn't working out, we can't keep jacking up threes. I believe in this team, but it don't mean anything if we don't execute. I mean, that's basically what we've been saying. And the fact that like he has to go rogue to switch up the defense is just so comically embarrassing for the coaching staff. And it's like he'll go rogue and it'll look great. And no, it's like if that is indeed what he's doing on that possession where he like started hedging, bro, the other players didn't know that that's what he was going to do if he's just going rogue, and it's still better than our base scheme, and it still works out. I mean, my goodness, man. I'm tired of the soft defensive schemes. I'm tired of not taking it to them defensively. I'm tired of, like, let's just sit back, and hopefully they won't hit threes on us. Let's just sit back, let them drive on us, and then the guy one pass away will get worried and sag down, and then kick out pass open three. Go ahead. I'm talking a lot. Go.
No, it's fine. I mean, you got it. Yeah, I mean, I mentioned this during the game. So this is coaching. I mean, yes, CJ had a horrible game. He was terrible defensively, especially in the fourth quarter. He was brutal. We probably could have won the game still if he played a little better defense. But I saw a lot of this, like, well, why are they switching so much? Why don't they fight through the screens? Why are they overhelping? Why does someone always end up wide open on the backside? You know, that kind of stuff. That's all coaching. This team has made these mistakes for years, and they do nothing to clean them up. They don't teach these guys the basic principles of help defense and rotation defense, and quite frankly, they just do the same thing over and over again, and it continues to haunt them years and years and years. And it's just so frustrating because this is all coaching. It's stuff that if a coach emphasized it properly, if he focused on these things, if he wanted to clean them up, if he wanted to make his team more disciplined, if he cared about holding players accountable, this stuff would still happen occasionally, but it would not happen continually, game after game, breakdown after breakdown, and cost us games that we should have easily won. And until that gets fixed and we have someone in here who actually cares about showing these guys that they're doing it wrong and this is not acceptable, you need to do it better, and this is how you do it better. Until that happens, this team can never realize its potential.
Yep. I mean, I don't know. I know some people might get annoyed by us or me saying, I tried to tell y'all or I told you so. But I mean, this is literally exactly what we've been talking about all season. Exactly what we talked about last year. Like, it's obviously not an injury issue. They're the injured team. And we got so much heat for that last year. And now at least one of the media members that gave us heat for that are kind of on our side now and realizing, maybe this team could be better coached. I mean, my goodness.
Is that Chad?
Good old Chad doing. I mean,
he still has me blocked, so he can't be that much.
He followed me back, so I mean, maybe he's coming around. You know, like all's forgiven. You know, if he's willing to actually be objective. I don't know how you could be objective and not see the issue. I don't know. But anyway, let me thank some donos. If this isn't the first dono, let me know. Like, YouTube was glitching out a bunch. I finally got like things sorted out with my streaming page. My streaming page was just kind of down. And glitch it out, so that's why there was like 2 stream links. Sorry about that. I'll figure out, how to delete that if that's a stream or something. I don't know. But David Lester, is that the first dono? Eric, do you know?
No, there was at least 4 before that one.
Oh god. Yeah, everything was glitching out, and I can't scroll back. Chat.
I know one of them was Shaggy Squid.
Shout out my guy Shaggy Squid.
If he's still in here, at Eric Brandt in the Twitter thing, and let me know what you said. And if there was anyone else before around the beginning of the chat before Jakob tweeted, so I was trying to get as many of them.
Yeah, appreciate you. Normally I have like a list of my streaming page, but my streaming page was like glitching out and just a bunch of issues with YouTube today. Not our fault for once. It's YouTube. Like I would try going live just like I normally do, and YouTube glitched out, and that's essentially what that is. So yeah, at Eric, if you left a dono, and let him know what you said.
Old Jakob Haug says, can we have sad and melancholic stream today, please? Yeah, I guess we could have a segment later where we're just all depressed and sad, and yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna be depressed and sad. I'm gonna be angry. It's just unacceptable. I don't. Sad. Like that in past years, I've gotten like sad at playoff losses. At this point, I'm just pissed off that this is the situation and this is happening another year. But I'm going to start with David Lester. Yeah, if you left a
hold
dono.
on, there's one more before that one
Okay,
that I
ahead.
got.
Cool.
I have them all on pictures, so
Perfect.
I just missed the first couple because I was not in the stream.
Okay.
But Candyman was next. He said, or Candleman, I don't know. How does $5 donut says, how does Dame go to the line one time? I can't even fathom how that's possible in a game where he plays 40 minutes.
2 free throws, bro.
And Dame blamed the refs on this loss on the refs, I guess, in his presser. So I don't really like that.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, there's a couple calls they should have given him, but he did shoot 16 threes, right? So you're talking about 15 twos that he shot. He had a lot of drives where, like, they didn't even give him any resistance. You know, he had that dunk in the first quarter. He had a couple lanes where he's just beating the big to the rim, and he's not getting fouled, you know? So, like, there's, like, a couple fouls. I get this. Just, like, you look at it, 2 free throws, and it looks real bad. They shoot 27. We shoot 13. Like, I thought the refs were bad in this game and favored the Nuggets. But also, we're a team that's just jacking up a bunch of threes and mid-range shots. Like, you're not going to get many free throws that way. They were a team that was shooting threes or getting into the paint for the most part. So that's the thing. Those teams, like, are going to get to the line more, and then they also made more threes. If you're selling for a bunch of contested threes and contested twos, you're not going to make as many, and you're also not going to get to the free throw line as much. You know, like, it's like some people think that the free throw differential has to be even. Sometimes teams are more aggressive and attack more, and I thought Denver did attack more, so they should have had more free throws. I thought the differential. So the refs were definitely giving them the benefit of the doubt. There was some bad missed calls. You know, Dame on a layup. It was like a layup or a dunk in the second half. Got hit on the back of the head, and they didn't call it. There's definitely plays that they botched. You know, but they're not the reason we lost this game. We were down 10-12 with a minute or two left. I mean, sure, maybe it's a 3 or 4 point game, or maybe we're winning and maybe we win this game, but that's the thing, you don't control the refs. So Dame blaming the refs. Dame needs to focus on, I mean, like, well, it's not even Dame's fault because it's the coaching staff's fault, but it's like you can only control what you can control. And the Blazers are doing like a lot of things bad that they are in control of, that the coaching staff is in control of. And if they just do those things, it probably doesn't matter how bad the refs are tonight, because the Blazers are the more talented team. But they played such a bad game today that, like, I don't feel comfortable blaming it on the refs, even though I think the refs were bad for the Nuggets. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It does make sense. So Shaggy Squid, yeah, I mean, Dame went to the hoop enough times where he probably should have gotten to the line a little more. So yeah, it's frustrating. But Shaggy Squid sent me what he said on Twitter. He said, going to be so good next year, going grocery shopping and watching Stott scan our items, and wish us a good day. Career change incoming, Terry. Big changes.
Yeah.
I don't know. He'll probably get another job. I mean, he's respected, I guess, around the league.
He'd be a fine coach of a rebuilding team. That's what I've always said. Not a team that has to make adjustments in the playoffs and scheme properly in that.
Yeah, I mean, if your team doesn't make the playoffs, he's great, right?
Mm-hmm. Facts. Facts. You know, if you're trying to tank a little bit at the end of the year, but also develop young players, he's perfect for that, right? So. Yeah.
All right, now we're to David Lester's one, and I think
these from
unless anyone was way early in the stream, I think we got caught up now.
Yeah. Shout out to you guys donating. Sorry YouTube had problems, but we will always try and get you covered on that. Shout out David Lester, $5 dono. No point having the more talented team if we don't use our talent. Derrick Jones Jr. and Nas sit while we struggle to keep up with Denver. Agree on Cantor. And Derrick Jones Jr. not playing in a series where we desperately need defense and hustle and scrappiness. Him not playing is a crime at this point, man. Like, even like Rondé Hollis Jefferson got it up and he looked good defensively, and he made a great read on that kickout pass on that roll. Like, play one of those 3 guys instead of Cantor. Cantor should not see the floor next game. Sorry, Enes Cantor. I hope he's not back next year. I don't think it is necessarily a bad pickup, but I think it was kind of a situation where Olshey knew, okay, if Nurkic goes down the regular season, we're going to need a guy like a Kanter to step up and be in the starting lineup, and Nurkic went down, and Kanter stepped up and played really well when Nurkic was hurt, okay? But then you also got a guy like Rocco who can be a small ball 5 in today's NBA, especially against bench lineups. A lot of bench lineups have a 5 that Rocco can guard, you know what I mean? You can stagger Rocco. And the thing is, they already do stagger Rocco, but they stagger him to play him at the 3. They play him at the 3, Melo at the 4, Kanter at the 5, right? It should be a situation where you stagger Rocco and play him at the backup 5 right now. I think Olshey going into the season, believed in Giles, and I still believe in Giles' talent, and I think Giles, if we played him, might be a better option at this point in this series. He's more athletic. He's a much better guy to throw out against a Paul Millsap or a JaMychal Green, because those are kind of perimeter 6'8" bigs, right? But then also Harry Giles can pass the ball, and we didn't see that at all this year. But it's like the team only moves the ball when they have Nurkic in the game, you know? So it's like, I think Stotts went out and got Giles, believe in his talent, and I still believe in his talent. He just never got a fair shot. Thinking that, okay, you know, he's a mobile big. If you can't play Kanter, if you have a mobile big, you can play Giles, who's more mobile, and then Giles provides consistency with that playmaking at the 5 spot, where you can use him a lot in the same way that you use Nurkic, but Stotts never gave Giles a chance. And then you also, if you want to go small, you have Rocco as a small ball 5, and you got all these wings that you can slot in, like Nas, Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, Derrick Jones Jr., that you could slot in at the 3. You could have Melo at the 4, and Rocco as a small ball 5. Like, it's not like he didn't give Stotts a choice. I hate people saying that he didn't give Stotts a choice, because he absolutely did. But he didn't play Giles, and he refuses to go small against a small bench line. It'd be one thing if their bench big man was like Derek Favors or something. You know what I mean?
Or they're
like
playing
a 7-footer. Yeah, if they're playing JaVale McGee. Bro, their 5 is a 6'8" Paul Millsap or a 6'8" JaMychal Green, bro, and Stotts still won't go small. When he has a guy like Rocco to be the small ball big, when he has a Derrick Jones Jr. I mean, Melo can guard Millsap or JaMychal Green. I mean, Melo was guarding Jokic and doing a better job than Kanter. So don't even give me that.
Melo did like 3 or 4 possessions in a row. I don't think Jokic scored in any of those possessions. He posted up Rocco one time and had that nice spin move lay-in on him. But for the most part, I thought going small on him actually worked in this game. So that is another argument against going to Kanter. But yeah, to your point, I mean, we didn't set any of these guys up for success, and that's what happens when you play the 8-man lineup. I mean, we had injuries all year. These guys should have been in a situation where you hear this all the time. Oh, maybe the silver lining is some guys have a chance to step up, and then they're ready to have a bigger role later in the season. And unfortunately, I mean, you can maybe say Simons did. He had a good game 1, hasn't really contributed much the last 2 games. He hasn't
gotten shots. Like, they're not even getting him shots.
Yeah. But, I mean, for the most part, a guy like Giles needs to have some of a role. And now it's, like, completely useless to put him in these games now because he doesn't know what his role is. Where, like, Hollis Jefferson is different in my mind because he's a vet who, like, knows what he's supposed to do when he comes in the game. Like, that guy was brought in for a specific reason, and he's going to do that when he gets minutes. He doesn't need like a reason to prove himself or like trying to make a contract for next year, even though he is technically. But like, he's just going to come in and be a vet and do the little things. Whereas Giles is still trying to figure out like who he is as a player and stuff like that. But that's why you give him minutes in spot situations instead of maybe like, even before Nurkic went down, maybe play Giles a little bit more than Kanter as the backup, knowing that Kanter is like I said about Hollis Jefferson. He's fine. He'll be, if he has to come in and start for Nurkic when he gets hurt, he'll be fine, like whether he played big minutes earlier in the season or not. So that's why you use those minutes to develop other players to possibly have a bigger role or to be able to step into these situations later on when you need to turn to something different and when your current situation is just not working at all. But now it's like you're stuck. You have to basically stick to those guys or go super small, and there's not much else they can do about it.
Yep. Shout out JM1231, $5 donor, says, I hate Stotts so much. He's such a freaking idiot. And he's ruining the prime of the best player to ever wear a Blazers uniform. Sorry, I'm angry. I mean, right there with you, man. Appreciate the dono, JM. M. Kirkpatrick, 02, has a $5 dono. He says, it would have been nice to go to the small ball lineup before we were desperate. Cantor has been getting killed all series. CJ also overhelps often. And that's what's mind-boggling to me, is that it took him to the very end of the third to realize that he can't play Cantor. You know what I mean? And I would be shocked to see Cantor as the first sub in the next game, because that's how Terry Stotts rolls. I mean, last game, even in game 1, you could see, Cantor really struggled. And I get giving him a chance in, game 2, maybe it's just one bad game. But he started struggling first half of game 2. We still play him the second half of game 2. Still struggling. Just horrible the first 2 games. At that point, pull the plug. It's obviously not a good matchup for him on paper. Why do you have to throw him out against a Paul Millsap or a JaMychal Green instead of a guy like a Derrick Jones Jr. who matches up with those guys much, much better? You know what I mean? And provides some athleticism, some transition ability, some cut ability. Why do you have to play Cantor? You don't have to play him. It's not even a matchup where you feel like the need to play him and he's struggling. It's a bad matchup for him and he's playing terrible, and you still roll him out in the first quarter when everybody knows it's not what you should do. I mean, he goes to the scorers table and it's just ugh, man, we're up 26-20 playing solid, playing with a lot of energy at least, and Cantor's to the table. Oh no. And then it's a 14-0 run. Bro, Cantor plays 6 minutes tonight. Eric is a -15. Take out the 6 minutes that we played Cantor and we outscore them by 10, despite the fact that we're not making shots.
And I forget, did Nurkic have a foul in the first quarter? I don't remember if he did.
I don't think so, no.
I don't think it was more later.
At the most, he only had one. So he was not in foul trouble. That's not why he got taken out. But it was he took out Nurkic to sub Nurkic back in with the bench against small ball bigs, which meant it basically meant more Nurkic guarding Millsap or JaMychal Green and more Cantor guarding Jokic.
Yeah.
How does that make any sense?
I want to talk about earlier.
That. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I remember one time we posted Nurk up. He was almost at the 3-point line when he caught the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But we had him at the second unit, and he had Millsap or JaMychal Green guarding him. Why not throw him into the post and just make them try to adjust to us and just bully them inside if they're going to play that small lineup? But that's the problem. We have this big lineup with Cantor and Nurk or whoever, Melo at the 4 and stuff, and we don't do anything to punish teams with that size advantage. We just let them get away with guarding us because we don't do anything in the paint, nothing inside. We just work all around the perimeter and try to shoot a 3. They have a quick lineup in. That's not the time to shoot a 3. That's the time to attack the basket. They have no rim protection. They have no one who can stop Nurkic in the post in those situations. Just keep going to him until they stop him. And there could be times where Nurk misses a bunch of bunnies. That's definitely possible. But at least let that play out before you go away from it and just try to just pound them inside and make them pay for trying to guard Nurkic with a Paul Millsap. There is no excuse for not taking advantage of those matchups if you're going to play Nurk in those situations. Mm-hmm. So to not only play him on that end and to have him be at a disadvantage trying to guard one of those guys on the perimeter so he can't guard the rim anyways. So, why even play him in those situations if you're not going to take advantage of it on one end and then you're just going to play crappy defense on the other end anyway? So, it makes no sense to me what Terry's doing, and it's just I don't know how anyone can defend it. Even the biggest Stotts supporters knew in this game you could not play Cantor. And, okay, so he plays Cantor in the first half. Maybe you could say he gave it a shot, didn't work out, whatever. But the fact that he put him back in the second half, that is the worst decision I have seen coaching-wise, maybe in my entire life, Tori. I can't think of a decision where every single person on this earth would have done something different. We could have had a literal, an animal who can't even talk on the bench, and you told him, make a substitution, go pick someone to put in this game, and that person would have even ran away from Cantor and picked someone else. It's just I don't understand how that guy thought it was a good idea to put Cantor back in this game, and it cost us the game. It literally cost us the game tonight.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason I tweeted out at halftime, Stotts should be fired the second he brings Enes Kanter to the scorer's table in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, it's so obvious that it shouldn't have been the case. And you still knew he was going to do it because it's Terry freaking Stotts, bro. He's the only NBA coach in the league that would even think about playing Enes Kanter in that second half. He's one of the few that would even think about playing Enes Kanter in the first half. I mean, oh my goodness, man. It's so dumb.
Just so I'm clear, this isn't Kanter's fault in my opinion.
No,
I mean,
it's just
he's done fine this year. He had some huge moments for us this year. Like we're lucky to have him at points. But like in this series, there's not room for him. Like you said, maybe if Denver played JaVale McGee with their second unit or an actual center, then you could maybe justify it a little bit. But we're not even good on offense in the playoffs. Like, our offense goes to crap. So, like, there's no reason to play a guy who can't play defense if we're not scoring at will on the other end or taking advantage of that. So, like, I appreciate everything Kanter's done, and this is not a knock on him. It's just that his skill set is not a good fit to winning this series.
Yeah. I mean, on my Twitter, Kanter is trending, so it's pretty obvious, that a lot of people realize what's up.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. It's not his fault. It's a bad matchup for him. I mean, if we're going against like Utah's bench and he's able to be subbed in there with Favors and he has a coach that is willing to let him hedge, then I think it's completely fine. And I don't think he gets abused defensively. And I think it's like a solid matchup for him. And thank goodness we have a coach that wouldn't be scared to let him hedge. Because Stotts just wants to let him drop and then he gets eviscerated on it. And Stotts thinks apparently he can't do anything else with him when Kanter obviously can't drop and has looked fine hedging this year. I mean, I don't get that. But this is a bad matchup for him. And he has a coach that thinks he has to let him drop, which I think is the worst scheme for Kanter, actually, because he just gets eaten up almost every time he drops. Like, it's not Kanter's fault. It's just not his. He just shouldn't be on the court. You know what I mean? Like, if we put CJ Ellaby on the court, it'd be like, why in the world is Stotts putting CJ Ellaby on the court? It's not anything personal towards Ellaby. It's just like, obviously, you don't put him out on the court in the playoffs. Like, I don't get it. I'm tired of it. I will rant the second I see him stand off the bench next game. Like, no offense to Kanter, man. It's just a tough matchup for him.
And real quick, Kenneth in chat says availability bias in this chat. Don't count Dame out. That's not the problem, man. That's not the problem. Like, yes, Blazers still should and might even win this series still, and Dame could still go crazy. He has had a great series so far. But, like, that's not the problem. The problem is we shouldn't have to need Dame to go superhuman once again to beat the freaking Denver Nuggets without Jamal Murray and Will Barton. Like, there's no reason why we should be sitting here being like, don't count Dame out when his back's against the wall. Like, just wait till we're down 3-1 and you'll see Dame come out and have a great game and we might still win this series. Like, no, I'm sick of that crap, man. There's no reason why, if this team was well coached, we cannot be talking about who our second round matchup is right now instead of being sitting here down in a series against this freaking Denver Nuggets team. And it's nothing against the Nuggets. Once again, it's not their fault. They're putting up a great effort. I mean, they're doing everything they can. I mean, you got to tip your hats to them for after game one, they could have easily just like packed it up and been like, you know what, we're feeling sorry for ourselves. We're injured. But no, they freaking do stuff and they play hard and they came out and kicked our butts the last two games. And I think it's I mean, I don't know. Denver's a good team, but there is no excuse for losing to them in a series, in my opinion.
1,000%. And here's the thing. Shout play-by-play for a $20 dono. He touches on what I want to touch on in response to that. So appreciate play-by-play with a $20 dono. He says, got a feel for Dame. Go ahead.
He says, I think y'all missed my two donos. No, we're still working back through them. Your first one was next.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sorry, we're getting around to them.
Yeah.
So play-by-play $20 dono says, got a feel for Dame, 42 and 37 and 2 L's to show for it. It's not like Dame isn't already playing great. I mean, the fact that we need 50 from him to beat this Denver Nuggets team is sad, man. 42 and 37 from Dame. The rest of the dono says, I'm absolutely disgusted with Stotts. They shot 20 for 38 from 3 after shooting about 50% from the field in the previous game. Can't win like that, especially with our offense. It's both sides of the ball. It's accountability, too. It's just like every factor like every coaching factor you can look at and find problems with it at this point. So I appreciate play-by-play. Yeah, it's like team's already playing great, man. I mean, like the fact that we require so much from him when we have the more talented team and the more talented role players is just ridiculous, I think.
And he missed a lot of threes in the second half of this game. But they were all like contested pull-up shots or step-backs, like for the most part. And that's always been my problem is he doesn't get like where was a play where he runs off 2 screens or that elevator screen or something is just like get him an open 3 coming off a good look, and then maybe once he hits one then he'll get going and hit some of those crazy step backs, or they can't play him the same way because we're playing him off ball. And we've said this all along, if he's like going to different spots and running different things every time down the court, it makes it so much harder to double or pay attention to him off ball, because you don't know like where he's going to be. You don't know if he's going to go get that dribble handoff or if he's going to curl all the way around the middle of the key or something. And that's what we have to do. We have to be less predictable. But it's just, I mean, any team that guards us knows what we're going to eventually do on offense, whether we disguise it as something at the beginning of a play or not. It always ends up being mostly the similar stuff, and that's a problem. Like in the playoffs, you can't just do similar stuff and expect it to work out every time.
Yep. Shout out Roger, $2 donor says, got tickets for Game 6. Hopefully we win Saturday. Yeah, hopefully there is a Game 6. Because we're gonna we can't beat them in 5 now. It has to be 6 or 7. So hopefully there is a Game 6. Shout out Mills Woes for a $5 donor. He says, I said the whole game, if we're not going to move the ball, go downhill. It will be better than missing a 3. And we just don't attack, man. Like, it's sad, man. We've gone 2 3-point happy. It's like when you have a good team and guys that can slash a bit, like, or maybe finish off a cut, You gotta do it when the threes aren't falling. But instead, it's like we'll shoot 45% of our shots will be threes, no matter if we're 0 for 45. You know, that's basically the way it goes with this team. And then we complain about not getting to the free throw line when we just settle for jumpers all game long. Like, yeah, the refs weren't good tonight. Called a lot of stuff for Denver that they might not have called for us, but they're not the reason we lost this game, because it shouldn't have been in their hands in the first place. And we're probably not hitting like 4 threes in a row if we're tied. You know what I mean? We got desperate and started just launching and cashing in to make this look a little closer than it was.
Oh, what do you know? We play with some tempo and urgency, and what happens? We get a bunch of shots, right? That never happens, right, Tori?
Well, bro, it's just like we wait till we're desperate, and then we start to... You know what I mean? I'm tired of this team.
coming out of game with some urgency.
I'm tired of being the team that's like, we have to wait until we're desperate to start like playing with peak energy and to start playing really well. You know what I mean? Like, bro, it's like... It was like that way this season. We waited until we're desperate and looking at a play-in, and then all of a sudden we like start playing a little better defense and moving the ball a little bit more, and we rattle off like 8 out of 10 wins, and everybody thinks this team is different. And then we go into the playoffs with a good matchup, so we're not as desperate. We win game 1, and it's like we're satisfied with that. Lose the next 2 games. So like I would be surprised if we lose game 3 and then maybe... or lose game 4 and then maybe take it to 7 because we start playing well because we're desperate, and then we lose in 7 because we still have all these same issues and we can't hit, 50% of our contested threes 3 games in a row. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Anyway, shout out to Play-by-Play, another $10 dono. He says, Stotts has to be the most incompetent coach in NBA history, not even a debate anymore. I'd take a sloth with 178 extra chromosomes over Stotts at this point. How has he been a coach for so long? Appreciate it, Play-by-Play. I mean, yeah, I don't even know what to say to that. You guys know how we feel about the way this game's been coached. So,
I mean, that's the problem. I mean, if we were talking, this is like his 3rd or 4th year, or this is like back the Pelican series, and this is happening, then maybe you can say, give him another year to adjust or whatever. But like, this is 9 years. Like, you don't give a coach that does not make good enough moves schematically 9 years. Like, you just don't. Like, there's no reason to continue the charade and think that it's ever going to change, because it won't.
Yep. 100% agreed. Shout out Max Buckley, $2 dono, says, drunk celebratory stream when Stotts is fired. Sure, man. If that has to be our most happy stream of the year other than the Game 1 stream, then yeah, sure. Can't wait for that. Shut up, Mills Woj, $10 dono says, I think Canner won't play next game. Will that be enough to win without major adjustments? I know it sounds like a dumb question, but he's honestly that bad. I mean, you take out his 6 minutes tonight, and we outscored him by 10 with all these problems with our style of play, and with us, maybe we could have shot a little bit better, despite the style play issues, despite how many bad threes I thought we took in this game. Sure, we have the talent to shoot a little bit better, so, I mean, just don't play him. Just trap. Just give him a different look. Get out in transition with the bench lineup. It's just like we play such a, 2005 style of basketball with our bench lineup, and it's frustrating, man. It's so dumb. It's just stand around and wait for somebody to do something, and then if they miss, hopefully Canner can go get it, and then on defense you just drop and hope they miss shots. It's such like a 2000-esque style of basketball. It's 2021, okay? Terry Stotts needs to realize that. I think it's too late though, for him. He's too stuck in his ways.
Yeah. So while we're on the Stotts topic, I want to address 2 comments in chat. One is by Jake Sports. He says, I'm sorry to tell you guys, but even if we lose this series, I'm about 90% sure that Terry is not getting fired. I live right by Dame. He always tells me it's not coaching when I mention it to him. And then someone else to that point says, is Kenneth, I think, and then said that why does Dame defend him or something along those lines if he's not a good coach? Why should we take our word over his or whatever? Dame is a loyal guy. Dame likes Stotts because he likes everyone who he's involved with in the organization. And, I mean, this is a point we've heard from Jason Quick, we've heard from others, that ownership has taken notice that Stotts is not a good coach schematically. He's not a good defensive coach. They were specifically looking at this series to see if he would make the necessary adjustments, and he flat out flaunted it in their face that he's not going to make an adjustment and then didn't make an adjustment. I don't know how much clearer it can be that he doesn't care anymore. He's not going to do anything. He's not going to change. He thinks his way will work and it won't, and he's done nothing to fix it, or he's not even concerned that it is broken. He won't even admit that it's a problem. He won't ever admit that he's somewhat accountable for any of the things that have happened. It's just always about the other team making shots or us not doing something right or whatever. And then when you question that, he's like, oh, I didn't say that. And it's just so dumb. But Dame is a loyal guy. He's gonna stick up for his guys. He's been his coach since he came in this league. I'm sure they have a good relationship, a respectful relationship, and Dame will be fine when we fire him. It'll be okay. I'm telling you guys, Dame will be fine, and the minute he sees a new coach and gets some new concepts and learns some new things that he can do on the court to make his life easier, he will forget about any kind of grievance he has with Terry Stotts being fired.
Yep. I mean, if we lose this first round series, Stotts is 100% gone. You can take that to the bank, all right? You can take that. Take it from the guy who called the Norman Powell trade, all right?
I'm not like a pitchfork guy, but I'm bringing out the pitchforks. I'll bring one for everyone. If we lose this series and he's back next year, there is something seriously wrong with this franchise. And yeah,
yeah. I might as well. We might as well go join the Valley Pod and make it a 5-man group there, Eric. At that point, I mean, that's obviously a joke, but dude, there's no way you bring him back if he loses in the first round this year, bro. There's no chance, man. So, just because Dame defends Stotts doesn't mean Stotts is coming back. There's no way. You know what I mean? Dame loved Ed Davis. Dame loved Mason Plumlee. Those guys ended up gone. So he would probably talk the same way about those guys.
One day later, he forgot all about Plumlee being traded. It was
exactly.
Nurk's my new best friend.
I think it'll be something where the front office and Terry Stotts come to a mutual agreement to part ways. I think there's a chance Stotts might not want to come back next year and he's just riding the season out.
Yeah.
He does not look happy. He does not seem like he's really enjoying himself, man. I don't know. I don't know. He might not even want to come back. He might want to retire. I don't know, man. But I don't think there's any chance any chance that he's back if we lose in the first round. There's no chance. Giannis loved Jason Kidd. They fired him. You know, they're up 3-0 in the first round, by the way, against the Heat that beat them last year. So it seems like they might have learned something and figured something out after everybody trashed Budenholzer.
What did we say all year? Like, Tori and I were both very high on Budenholzer in the past. We both turned on him last season, said he needed to change, just like Stotts, or his time in the NBA is going to pass him by as well. And what does Budenholzer do? They come out with all new schemes this year. They do completely different stuff. It probably cost them a seed or two. They'd been the number one seed, I think, the previous 2 years. Probably cost them being the number one seed again. But it set them up to beat their nemesis that has been a thorn in their side the last year in the Miami Heat. And I think it's going to set them up for better playoff success than they obviously would have had with just sticking to the same schemes. But now they have all kinds of different things they can do because they have multiple schemes they can run. They have multiple base sets that they can do. And they absolutely sacrifice some of their success earlier in the season so they would be better prepared for this moment. Mm-hmm. We talked all that. We said we were going to do all that crap. We didn't do any of it, and then we just forgot all about it and just went back to the same crap, and now we're stuck in the same situation we've been in every freaking year.
Yep, and the Bucks are dismantling the Miami Heat, who beat them in, 6 last year? Yeah, so was it 5 or 6 that the Heat beat the Bucks in last year?
I think it was 5, because wasn't Young?
It might have been 5, yeah. So, I mean, obviously, he, like Budenholzer, was willing to learn from his mistakes, and that team is better off for it now. But take it from the guy who called the Trent and Hood trade 12 hours before it happened. I called the Trent and Hood trade for Norman Powell 12 hours before it happened, and maybe 9 hours before it happened. Take it from that guy. Stotts is gone if we lose the first round. Okay? Trust me. Let's thank the rest of the donos. Yeah. Shout out to Andrew Miller, $5 donation, says, tough one, guys. Question, what is plus minus based on? Like, why was Dame minus 6 and Powell plus 2? Just curious. It means, like, if Dame is a minus 6, it means the Nuggets outscored the Blazers by 6 points when Dame was on the court. So Cantor being a minus 15, it means that the Nuggets outscored the Blazers by 15 points when Cantor was on the court. So, like, the Nuggets probably outscored the Blazers, like, 21-6 when Cantor was on the court, or something like that, meaning he's a minus 15. So, when Powell was on the court, we outscored him by 2. Obviously, there's a lot of noise, because, like, you could put in a CJ Ellaby next to Dame, and Dame could get hot and hit a bunch of contested threes, and CJ Ellaby might be, like, a plus 12 because of that, and then he gets subbed out and he finishes the game as a plus 12. So obviously it's dependent on lineup, but when you're a minus 15 in 6 minutes, when everybody knows it's a bad matchup for you and you can see it on the floor, like, the minus 15 is indicative of how bad of a matchup this is for Cantor. Like, you can't just use plus minus without context. We've provided the context behind Cantor's plus minus. There's a reason he's a minus 15, and it's because this is a terrible matchup for him. He has no chance defensively against no matter who he's guarding. He's not rebounding the ball. He's not finishing. He's not doing anything. I mean, he comes in and, like, dude, he is just so, like, he's just off right now. It's not only is it a bad matchup, he's just off. Here's the thing with a guy like Cantor. He out-hustles guys during the regular season. He out-hustles guys. He's not like some athletic freak, and that's how he's getting all his offensive rebounds. He just out-hustles guys in the regular season. What happens in the playoffs when everybody's hustling, when everybody's playing harder? All of a sudden, he's not out-hustling guys, so he's not getting these offensive rebounds. You know what I mean? That's what I think it is. Like, teams that, didn't have the attention to detail because it's the regular season, so they weren't necessarily boxing him out. Now it's like they know to box him out, and they're putting a body on him every time, and he's not able to even get offensive rebounds. He's not finishing. He's not getting boards. He's not playing, like, he's not a good defender whatsoever. Like, he should not be in the game. There's a reason he's a minus 15 in 6 minutes. That's terrible.
Yep.
So.
Did you, I might have missed you reading this one, but did you read the Mills Woj $10 one before that about Cantor?
Yeah.
Okay. I was making sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Unless there's
blanked on
another
that one
dono
first.
like right like it. Yeah, a lot of Canner donos. Shout Jake Bruce for $5 dono. Said this game broke my already broken brain. Been on the trade CJ and Fire Stotts bandwagon since he did drop coverage on Curry in the Western Conference Finals. He'll probably play Canner again, and he probably will, man. I will lose my mind when that happens. And I'll record it for Twitter. I will have the Twitter recording ready about 5 minutes left in the first quarter, and you guys can see my honest reaction to Cantor getting subbed in the game. Yeah.
Nice.
So, I've been on the bandwagon since like 2014. So I was on this bandwagon when nobody was on this bandwagon. Now we've had to buy more bandwagons because the bandwagon wasn't big enough for how many people were finally realizing what the issue is here. But yeah, I mean the drop coverage on Curry, man. He's the only coach who would complain drop coverage on Curry, man. Like that. Oh,
Sorry.
goodness.
The Rockets tried double teaming Curry, and he still made shots. What was he supposed to do?
Yep. Good old Damani in chat, Eric. He says, we beat this team last season with Cantor. It was 2 seasons ago. And what's your response to that, Eric?
I mean, they were young. Jokic is way better now. And yeah, I mean, Collins was huge in that series. Hood was big. Yeah, we had, I don't know, we made shots. I mean, we were down 17 in game 7, came back. We almost lost that 4 overtime game and would have went down 2-1 in that series. And then we lost game 4 anyways, just like, so it could have been very similar to this one had Maurice Harkless not gotten a cramp, but there was at least 2 of those, either between regulation and the 4 overtimes, there was at least 2 we were down 2 scores with like a minute or so left, and we just happened to tie the game back up. So yeah, we could have easily lost several of those games. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, yeah,
bro,
that was 2 years ago, but
if we have no Nurkic, Jokic is scoring 60 points a game right now. Do we really think Jokic isn't going to exploit Cantor? Like every time Cantor's in the game, Jokic just scores on him literally pretty much every time, right? Like I can't believe we started Cantor against Jokic and got away with it. But Jokic wasn't anywhere near as good. You know what I mean? Like, but you didn't want Cantor against Millsap, Cantor against, JaMychal Green, against stretch bigs like that. Here's the thing, though. We didn't have other options. We had to play Cantor. You know what I mean? Like, I don't... Damani, if you don't think that Enes Cantor being in the game is a problem, I assume you're watching the games, right? Do you not see how bad he is in the series? Through all 3 games. He's a minus 15 in 6 minutes, bro. I mean, if you, I don't even know how to argue it, bro. Like it should be obvious. I'm surprised that Damani of all people doesn't see it.
Even though they had Murray, that was their first year in the playoffs. They almost lost first round in 7 games to the Spurs, who weren't that talented that year. And then, yeah, I mean, they almost beat us. So, I mean, we had Dame, CJ, Hood. Like I said, Collins was big defensively in that series. I don't know. It's just, I mean, yeah, like if you want to compare their roster, like if you think about the players now, and think about how good some of those players have become, but there's no reason why we should be losing to this team without Murray right now.
Yep. Shout out to Alvaro Bazan, who says 2 NBA dunk champs, 1 athletic wing in Nas, 1 athletic ball handling freak of nature in Giles, and 0 attacking the rim when they don't have a rim protector. I mean, we don't play those athletic freaks, men, and I'm not going to call Giles a ball handling freak, but he can handle the ball for a center, so I'll give you that for sure. But it's like, you got you got Simons in the game. We had a backdoor lob to him for the first time all season. So congrats to Stotts for finally figuring out, we got the dunk champion. Let's hit him on a backdoor lob. But it's the same kind of play we run all the time. We just don't utilize athleticism well. We don't. Guys like Derrick Jones Jr. just get parked in the corner and shoot threes. So no wonder Stotts isn't playing him now. He can't shoot threes from the corner. So surprise, surprise. Athleticism, defense, that's not valued by Terry Stotts. Can you hit the corner 3? That's more important than defense and athleticism and that type of stuff for Stotts.
And Damani, Jeremy Grant was not on their team last year. He was only on their team for one season. Or he was not on their team 2 years ago. He was only on their team for one season last year, and we did not play them in the playoffs last year. So,
yes.
In case you missed it, I think you just joined the stream. I did mention several times that I don't think we take advantage of the size mismatch when we have him in the game. So what's the point of even playing him if we're not going to abuse them inside with Cantor and Nurkic? They might as well just go small in those situations.
Yep. Mills Welsh, $5 donor says, why was he so much better in 2019 with a separated shoulder? I don't know, man. Like, he played better in that series than he is now. A lot better in that series than he is now. And that wasn't a good matchup for him anyway, you know? But Jokic wasn't an MVP caliber player. Jokic is so much better than he was. Like, here's the thing.
Jokic, he was still good.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing, Eric. Jokic back then could not shoot the 3-ball well.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight, he goes 4 for 7 from 3. He started 4 for 5. Now he's like a lethal 3-point shooter. Let me pull up his stats. I want to compare his 3-point percentage this year compared to that year. Let's see here. Load. That season he shot... Computer, please pull up the page. There we go. That season he shot 31% from 3, Eric. This year he shot...
what about the playoffs?
What about playoffs?
Yeah, the playoff tab.
Yeah, let me find it.
I can get it for you.
In the playoffs, in our series, he did shoot 46%, so I'll give him that. In the series before, he shot 33%. But this year, he's shooting 39%. This series, he's shooting 39%. But he was not the caliber of player, the same caliber of player. So, yeah. I mean, he's so much better now than he was back then. And then you have Cantor matched up against small ball. It just doesn't make sense. He should not be playing whatsoever. And bro, like you know we're right when I'm saying this before the game, and then I'm saying no when he's getting subbed in, and then they go on a 14-0 run right when he gets in the game. I mean, proof's in the pudding.
David Yu puts an interesting. He says via Twitter. I'm not sure who to credit for this. The Nuggets are a plus 10.5 net rating with MPJ on the floor in this series. That's one thing I want to mention. When they have their second unit in and Jokic is on the bench, do not help off of Michael Porter Jr. when he's standing on the 3-point line. I saw that a couple times tonight. Like, Rocco was involved with this. Like, he just left Michael Porter Jr. and then there's a kick out to him for a wide open 3. That's like the worst thing you can do with that lineup. Is leave him. Stay at home. You help from another player. And this is why I always say, and Norm Powell confirmed this when he came to the team, that our coverage assignments on who to help with our help defense are non-existent, and he's not used to not having those locked in like he did in Toronto. And there should be game plans where if you're guarding Michael Porter Jr. in the second unit and Jokic is not in the game, you never help off of him, no matter what the situation. We'd rather give up a lay-in or something than have you help off of Michael Porter Jr. in that situation and give one of the best 3-point shooters in the league a wide open 3. But he also says that the Blazers are plus 13.1 net rating with Nurkic on the court, including a plus 8.6 rating with Nurkic and Jokic on the floor at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, our starting lineup is outplaying theirs. You know what I mean? Like, it's literally Cantor being in the game. Like, bro, we should be able to outscore them when they don't have Jokic on the court. What about when Jokic is off the court? They're outscoring us. You know, I don't have the stat, but they have to be outscoring us. And that's with Cantor in the game. It's like, why would you throw Cantor out there against a Paul Millsap or Michael Green when you have a guy like a Derrick Jones Jr. who can throw out against that? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. It's a terrible matchup. It's absolutely a terrible matchup. For Damani saying Jokic is a pretty bad pick-and-roll defender, well, he's looked pretty solid at hedging and trapping. I mean, that's the thing, is they're trying to force the ball out of Dame's hands, and then it normally ends up in, like, Nurkic's and then a kick-out, and they're rotating well on the backside. They're providing Jokic good help in the pick-and-roll. It's a situation where you get the ball out of Dame's hands, and then the Blazers have to make the right reads. But it's like we don't cut off of it. We don't move off of it. It normally results in a spot-up 3. and it's guys that aren't moving, so it's easy to rotate back out since the defense knows where those spot-up shooters are. They're not moving at all. So when you hit Nurkic on the short roll and somebody helps over and he kicks out, guys are almost already rotating back out to that pass because they know it's coming. They know where the guy is. We don't have like a wrinkle in that sort of action off the pick and roll where it's like, okay, if they're going to play up on Dame, this is where you cut to and we can attack the rim off of it. No, it's like, let's just stand in place. Normally it filters out to a kick out 3-point shot that has a defender running right at him. So we're not like, he's not a good pick and roll defender, but they're providing him good help, and we are not doing the right thing when they're playing up on Dame in the pick and roll. So if we're not going to do that, like, I would want us to try and do the right thing, but also let's run less pick and roll because that's all we're running. And then we're not doing the right sort of actions to exploit Jokic, to exploit them playing up on Dame. That's been the case since the Pelicans series. That's been the case for a while now, So that's essentially what it comes down to is when we run pick and roll, we're not exploiting the way they're defending. We're not exploiting Jokic. But that's all that we're running. So we're not, using Dame off the ball. We're not running him off screens to maybe get some distance between him and his defender to give him more space to maybe get a look off or then drive off of it, We're not doing that for a guy like CJ. All CJ's shots are pretty much contested pull-ups where everybody's mad at him, but it's not like he's having a set run for him that'll actually get him an open three. It's like he'll come off a pin down, and that's pretty much the most we'll run for him. I mean, that's the issue with our offense, and that's why it's like you got a guy like Jokic and we're not exploiting him.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be all for attacking Jokic and maybe getting him in foul trouble by posting up a little bit. But Damani, just for the record, I don't know if you watch much Jokic this year, but he vastly improved his post defense and stuff, and he was actually a positive defender. That's why he's the unanimous MVP this year. It's still not like great. He's not like a lockdown defender by any means, but he has improved a lot this season. So you have to give him credit for at least fixing some of that. And then also, but I'd still try and get him in foul trouble. I'd still post up Nurkic several times. And there's no excuse to not post up Kanter or Nurkic if there's not a big man in the game against either of them. Like, we should just go inside against those guys. I said that several times earlier, but yeah, I think we should attack the basket more. I absolutely agree with that. I just don't think Jokic is as bad of a defender as he once was.
Yep. So anyway, I think we're all caught up on donations. Appreciate it, y'all. Yeah, you guys want a Stotts interview? We'll do one
Yes,
post-game interview.
Please.
All right, we'll do a Stotts interview for y'all. Let me change to my account that doesn't have ads so I don't get called cheap again as if I don't already have it on a different YouTube account.
Well, yeah, I mean, if we could get Jokic in the foul trouble that Nurkic has been in the last couple games, think of how much easier this series would be, right?
Yeah.
But we don't. Yeah. I mean, Dame should just attack right at him and try to force the refs to either call a charge or a foul on him. Because Jokic isn't just going to stand there and take a charge. He's going to try to jump at those, and you just try to get him a little off balance and then draw some fouls, and that would be a way for Dame to both get to the line and accomplish Jokic getting in foul trouble. But I mean, we don't really do that. So.
Oh, no Stotts interview on their YouTube account. Shame. If somebody wants to DM a link to me.
If anyone can find a link, like a website link for Tori.
Yes, or just a different YouTube link than the Trailblazers since they don't have it up on the Blazers thing. Then, yeah. So, but yeah, so Terry Stotts. I saw a tweet. Worst playoff records among coaches with 60-plus games coached in the playoffs. Terry Stotts is the second worst at 34% winning percentage. Because that's the thing. There's just a tweet here. Worst playoff record among coaches with 60-plus playoff games coached. Terry Stotts is the second worst at 34%. I mean, I don't know how true that tweet is, but I mean, he's not been a good playoff coach, man. So, anyway. Yeah, if somebody has the link, DM it to me first. The first person to do it gets a shout out.
I'm trying to find it.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Somebody will DM it. People are pretty reliable. So if it's out there, somebody will find it. What else?
People
What else
say
have we
James
not?
is only 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, as far as Nuggets stats go, I mean Austin Rivers had a good game, but like every one of his threes was completely wide open. You know,
Except for the one where CJ was guarding him and then just backs up 2 steps and let him shoot it.
well, I mean
Like
that's
I
pretty
said,
wide
it's
open.
open.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean when a dude's on a rhythm, and that's the thing, you let him get a rhythm. So he shot the ball well tonight. JaMychal Green 2 for 3. They shot the ball at 53%, 20 for 38. But I mean, how many times are we gonna say, "Oh, your team just made shots before"? It's like, yeah, it's really an us problem. You know what I mean? But that's the problem with the team all year is this like they just made shots. They're not taking accountability for the fact that every team makes shots against us. You know what I mean? Like when something like that happens over and over and over again, if you're in a situation in your life where you have like relationships with people consistently go wrong over and over and over again, at some point you gotta look at yourself and think, maybe it's a me problem. What's the common denominator there? Right? That's exactly what the Blazers needed to do with their defense. It's like if a team makes 3-point shots over and over and over again, and you're constantly sitting there after every game saying they just made shots, they just made shots, they just made shots. What's the common denominator? It's your defense. Yeah. That's ranked second to worst in the league, you know? I mean, but they never took enough accountability to, and it was just, they just made shots. That's just what they said all season long. Shout out to 3 people that sent me links: Chris, Shervins, and Zach was the first one. So my mod was the first one. Good job, Zach.
And we got one of the best trolls I've ever seen in chat right now. AJ, got to give him credit. He says Blazers played hella good today. They just got beat. Oh man, that was such a good game. Yeah, that was great.
Bro, please tell me you're not a Blazer fan and you just underestimate our team. Oh my goodness, man. Come on,
and
man.
I gotta hook Julius up with an answer. They have been very impatient trying to get us to answer if we can still win this series. Yes, we can absolutely still win this series.
Please don't spam questions, though.
We can still win in 6 games. Like, it's not out of the realm of possibilities. But yeah.
No, Denver in 2.
But yeah, I mean, Portland's a better team. They have more talent right now. I wouldn't say that if Denver had their full complement of players, but yeah, I mean, all it takes is for like more than Dame to have a big game, and we can still win. But yeah, it's going to be tough, and we certainly made it a lot more difficult tonight.
Yep. Alrighty, here y'all go. Here is your favorite person on the Blazers. Terry Lynn's thoughts. A lot of silence to start this one.
I can't hear it.
Oh, I can't hear it either. Is this whole page muted? Hello? Oh yeah, this whole page was muted because I couldn't mute the ad. Okay, that makes sense. All right, here you go.
There are a lot of things that went on in the game, but would you say it pretty much came down to 3-point shooting for you guys? When you don't shoot well from 3, it's pretty tough for you guys to win?
Aaron Fentress, shut up.
Well, our shooting combined with their shooting. I thought for the way they shot the ball throughout the entire game, and we were still hanging around. So they made some big threes down the stretch. We made 3, I think, in the last 25 seconds, but certainly tonight, the 3-point line on both sides was, to me, the story of the game.
Guys, what did I just talk about? What did I just talk about? I mean, this is literally what I just talked about, bro. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is literally what I just talked about, guys. I mean, they just made shots. What can we do? And Fentress, of course, is the top guy. I think Fentress is Stotts' favorite reporter, probably, because he just tries to tee it up just to be, like, he's the one who asked Rocco, is it a Stotts issue on defense? As if Rocco's going to throw Stotts under the bus. I mean, get Fentress back to covering college football, please. My goodness. Anyway, thoughts on that, Eric?
I mean,
same old.
It was clear as day. He was going to say, "Oh, they made tough shots down the stretch.
100%.
Oh, we made 3 threes at the end. Made it kind of interesting, didn't we?"
Yep. Damani says somebody on Twitter called Terry an offensive genius. Bro, the offensive genius label is so ridiculous. I can't with it, man. Yeah, you know,
I find it hard pressed to find a more I don't know what the right word is, referenced title than that for a coach, offensive genius. Like,
how are we last in assists then, bro? We run the most pick and roll.
Dirk Nowitzki and Jason Kidd and like a bunch of really talented players on that Dallas team, and then he comes to Portland and immediately is gifted Damian Lillard and has LaMarcus Aldridge and good wings like Wesson and Batum, and then he goes he gets CJ, and then I don't know. It's just
Yeah, he's not an offensive genius. I think that's obvious to anybody who's willing to be objective. So
anyone could come in and spam pick and roll and stuff.
Bro, I can go on 2K and spam pick and roll. It doesn't make me a 2K genius.
Were you disappointed at all with the defense on Rivers once he got rolling in the fourth quarter? It seemed like he got some open looks.
I thought he made some clutch shots. They had a lot of guys out there. Our main concern was Jokic, but he made his shots. Shot clock going down, so I think for the most part they were contested. But he made his shot.
What?
Thanks.
What? Huh? Bruh. Maybe I'll have to watch Austin Rivers full highlights after this game. What?
No, man. So there was one where, all 3 of them were on CJ. But there was one where CJ dropped down to double team the post, and Jokic just kicked right out to Rivers, who hit it. There was one on the far corner, which CJ did the same thing, double teamed the post when he did not have to, and they just kicked it right out to Austin Rivers for a 3 wide open. And then the third one was Rivers just had him isolated, and he dribbled twice, and CJ backed up, and then Rivers just shot it and made it. That's all. None of those were contested.
Bro, maybe that explains it all. Contested shots to Terry Stotts on defense is us being within 10 feet of them. Okay? And then when we're on offense, there's no such thing as contested shots. Every shot's a good shot.
Yeah, I guess.
That would explain it all, I mean, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe.
Jason Quick, The Athletic.
Coach, one of the turning points was the last 5 minutes of the first quarter, and then essentially Ennis doesn't play again. Can you kind of explain what went behind that decision?
Which decision are you talking about?
To not play Ennis anymore, essentially.
We had a bad stretch. He was a minus 15 in that 5 minutes.
You fucking know what. Sorry.
It was a tough matchup, so decided to bring Rondé in the second half.
So you finally woke up. He finally woke up, Eric. Oh my goodness.
Dude. Oh, what decision? Oh, I'm just going to play completely stupid. What do you mean? Like, that's so dumb, dude. Just freaking answer the question. You don't have to turn every single thing into some debate on what word was used and, oh, I didn't say urgency. I said aggression, not urgency. Like, it's just, like, shut up, man. It's so annoying. Like, take responsibility just one freaking time. Gosh.
Yeah. I mean, he finally woke up, apparently. He finally realized what we all realized like a game and a half ago, that this is a really bad matchup for Cantor. It should not have taken him this long. That's ridiculous. Quick's next question should be, okay, why did it take you so long to realize that?
Yeah.
Why did it take you till... But you still subbed him in the second half. You know how Stotts didn't, like... Stotts is like the king of correcting people, but did you notice he didn't want to correct Quick and say, well, I actually subbed him back in the second half too, and then he got a flagrant, and that's when I subbed him out. Of course he doesn't correct that, but, he'll correct anything else to make himself look better. It's Terry Stotts for you.
It was a tough matchup, so decided to bring Rondé in the second half. It's kind of obvious.
Yeah,
It
Well,
is.
yeah, kind of need you to explain it though too. How did you think Ron?
Eric.
Okay. I just want to make a correction. Okay. Don't let this guy fool you. You did not bring Rondé Hollis-Jefferson into the second half. You brought Enes Kanter in the second half. Don't freaking lie, Stotts. That is a flat-out lie. Don't try to take credit like you changed it in the second half. You brought Kanter in. You got absolutely smoked for like 1 minute, and you had to take him out. You had no choice. You had no choice, dude. Don't try to act like that was some coaching move or anything like that. You brought Enes Kanter back in this game. Don't try to act like you didn't do that and you played Hollis Jefferson. That is full of crap. You are out. You're just lying now, just trying to save your sorry face. But you're just lying, man. You were lying. It was obvious to everyone. It should have been obvious to you, and you know it was obvious. Otherwise, you wouldn't trying to play like you didn't play Kanter in the first half when you frickin' did.
Yeah, or in the second half, yeah, because, oh goodness. It's like, it's obvious, it's like you say, it's obvious why I didn't play him in the second half when he subbed him back in the second half,
Right.
and then he picked up a flagrant off an offensive rebound for Jokic.
Maybe if you put, if you don't bring Kanter in the second half, maybe you can say that, right? Maybe you can say, you know what, I messed up my rotations of the first half. Nothing against Kanter, but I thought we'd go in a different direction and try it out the second half. No, you didn't do that. You literally put in Kanter in the game and got your butts kicked and cost yourself the game. And then you were like, uh-oh, I better put someone else in or this is going to look really bad after one more minute, you know? It's just so dumb.
Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, it is obvious. It was obvious last game, too, so, you know, it shouldn't have taken you this long.
It's kind of
Yeah. Kind of need you to explain it though too. How did you think Rondé did?
I thought he played really well. He was active, got his hands on some balls. Box score doesn't show what he did, but I thought you could feel his presence out there. We were able to switch when he was in there with Rocco and Melo. So I thought he was effective in the minutes that he had.
Mr. Salta, Sport DNA.
Coach, how crucial point of the game were the fourth made threes of Austin Rivers in fourth quarter, and also what did you like on your effort as a team?
Well, Rivers threes, like I said, he made clutch threes. The game was going, it was close. Made one when I don't know if both of them, but the shot clock was running down. So obviously those were big shots in the fourth quarter. As far as our effort, I thought we had great effort. We came out great, set the tone defensively. Obviously, the second half of the first quarter did not go well for us, but we didn't quit. We kept battling. We kept competing. Third quarter was a tough quarter for us, and it was all said and done. We tied them. Both teams scored 20 in the third quarter. So I thought we had good effort. Never quit, and like I said, it's more about the three-point shooting than effort.
Dwight James, NBC Sports Northwest.
Kerry, obviously Nurkic has to be on the floor for you defensively and probably offensively too. But it appears he is committing some fouls out of frustration or fouls that you wouldn't consider good fouls, maybe not on the guy he's guarding necessarily, but how can he do a better job of staying on the floor for you when you need him?
Well, I don't remember all the fouls, but in the past he's had some probably poor decision fouls. I don't think that was the case tonight. He had the charge. He had I thought a couple of fouls probably were borderline fouls to begin with. So I didn't have a problem with that. I didn't think he committed any silly fouls or unwarranted fouls tonight.
No, the last one, not.
I don't know. I'd have to see the replay of it.
We're going to keep going here. Just quick programming note. Nurk is going to be available shortly in the locker room Zoom room. Next question is coming from AJ McCord with Coin.
I have nothing to say to any of that.
No, you're good.
Yeah, so just let me know if you want me to pause it and say something.
Okay.
So, Coach, with this one coming down to three-point shooting, like you mentioned, what are the adjustments that you can make between now and Saturday to keep them off the three-point line a little bit stronger?
Well, so the first 2 games, they scored in the paint. So we outscored them by a bunch in the paint. So they scored inside in the first 2 games. They score outside tonight. As long as they're contested perimeter shots, we got to live with that. But the paint has been a priority, and we did a good job with that. I think three-point shooting can come and go, but as long as we take away the paint, I think that's an important thing.
Didn't they shoot 48% from 3 in one of the first 2 games? Like, they weren't taking away the paint in the first 2 games. I mean, I don't know. They didn't shoot well from 2, but they also got to the line a lot. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, this just added this to the contradiction thing to me. Okay, so three-point shooting, you don't want to rely on that because it can come and go. Mm-hmm. Yet their whole strategy this entire season was to shoot as many threes as possible. So how does that make sense?
It's a great question, man. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even think
I
of
wish
that.
Someone would ask him that.
Yeah, it is a contradiction. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: is he's like acting like we contested their 3-point looks, and I really don't think we did. Like no. being within 4 feet of a guy isn't contesting a 3-point jump shot in the NBA. You have to be there. Yeah. Like you have to have a hand in the face to contest an NBA 3-point shooter, bro. Being 4 feet away is not good enough. That's not a contested 3 in the NBA. Maybe in high school basketball, which is kind of like the level of his coaching, maybe that's a contested shot. But in the NBA, no. Like, we did not do a good job of contesting their shots. I wish he'd just come out and say, we didn't do a good enough job of contesting their shots. We need to do a better job of rotating back out to the 3-point line in a timely manner after the kick-out pass. Because that's the thing. You can pack the paint and then rotate out better. That's the problem. Is there, like, this game, they helped, but, like, oftentimes it was over-helping when it wasn't needed, leading to threes. Especially one pass away, where they were, like, helping 15 feet off their guy one pass away, leading to easy... That's like an easy pass to shoot off of, easy pass to make, open 3. And it was like, backside rotations weren't there. On a number of possessions, it was like... There would be 2 guys on the strong side of the floor helping into the paint and then kicking out, right? Or there'd be 1 guy helping from the strong side of the floor into the paint, and then the guy that was left over there wasn't rotating out to the first pass like he should. Because essentially, whoever's left there rotates back out to first pass, the guy who helped rotates back out to second pass. But they weren't even rotating back out to the first pass, or the second guy wasn't rotating back out to the second pass. So that's the problem. It's like they were packing the paint, but they were not doing a good job after that of getting back out on 3-point shooters, and that's why they had a great game shooting. If they do that, they probably win this game. That's, you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing, is it's not like you have to sacrifice one or the other. Good defenses know how to do a good job defending both. And sure, you might not stop them. They might hit contested shots. But I'd be able to live with them hitting contested shots over as many open threes as they got this game. And don't be confused by the way he's acting. They got a lot of open threes in this one.
There was a play when Nurkic picked up his 5th foul and switched to guarding Gordon, where Gordon caught the ball on the near the corner, drove to the middle. Nurk stayed in front of him, was in perfect position. Gordon was not going to get an easy shot off. But someone, I think this might have been CJ too, helped off of Campazzo, I think it was. And they weren't even in position to help on Gordon in time, but they were so far away from the shooter that they were stuck in that no man's land once again. And so all Gordon does is kick out to the guy who left his shooter wide open, easy 3. And that was those kind of plays. That might have been one of the 4 Rivers threes. I don't know. But yeah, so those kind of plays, it's inexcusable. Like it's just a mental breakdown where you didn't have to switch, and that's not defending the paint. That's being stupid. And like, I would rather Gordon take like a running shot. How many turnarounds or running shots has Gordon hit in this series? I don't think he's hit 1. I think it's all been either open threes or like like cuts or rebounds where he scores easily because he's getting a lay-in or dunk, right?
Yes.
So like make him take a tough shot like with a guy on him. Like you don't have to help in those situations. So like to make Stotts out like or say like they're doing a great job on defense, they're just hitting tough shots. That's absolutely not the case. These guys are absolutely abusing Portland's poor hook rotations and poor rotations, and that's piss poor coaching, and it's been that way for several years now. These players do not know how to play off the ball defensively, and it absolutely is a reflection of the coaching staff and these teams. This is why these teams always get on fire against us. This is why we see time and time again performances like some stupid guy like Campazzo will have almost a triple-double against us because our defense is so soft and we don't do the right things. And I hate hearing this, like, there's nothing wrong. We didn't do anything wrong, right? We were in position. We contested every shot. They just hit them. So that to me screams the no adjustment thing, right? So we're going to come out the next game and do the same thing because it should have worked this game. Because in Stott's mind, we played a good defensive game, and this is why he never fixes it. Because he's like not. I don't know if he's just like if it's stubbornness, which probably has a lot to do with it, or he just doesn't want to admit it, or he's too insecure to try anything different. Because if it works, then it shows how bad he's been coaching the previous years in these situations, or what it is. Maybe a combination of all those things. But he absolutely is stuck in this fantasy land thinking that his defense has actually been somewhat decent. It just gets really unlucky, and you cannot win coaching that way.
100%.
Sean Hyken, Bleacher Report.
Terry, the adjustment of putting Rondé in instead of Ennis in the second half, is that something you think you might stick with going forward, or would you anticipate Ennis having that spot in the rotation still that he normally has?
I haven't thought about that, but I thought Rondé played well, so I have no qualms about putting him in game 4.
Of course you haven't thought about it, bro. Oh my goodness, because you don't think. Yeah, I mean, hopefully it's not like Derrick Jones Jr. or Rondé or even us. Like, just no Ennis Cantor in game 4. All right, please play some defense. Eric, Rondé Hollis-Jefferson had the best shot contest of this game. He actually had a real shot contest. And guess what? They missed it because it was a real contest.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
And he drew an offensive
first play in, he drew an offensive foul fighting through a pick.
Yeah, a turnover. Created a turnover yet.
Yeah. Bro, it's not like he doesn't have guys that can play defense. If subs in the defensive player, look what happens, bro. There's like a noticeable difference. Oh my goodness. I mean, I guess it's apparently a thing where like if Stoss is going to be the coach, every single player he ever has on the floor has to be a good defender. Otherwise, he doesn't have good enough defensive personnel. He has to play Cantor. Well, he stops playing Cantor once it's obvious to everybody, and you got a guy that comes in, Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, that makes a difference defensively. I mean, come on.
Aaron Fentress, the Oregonian.
Oh, God.
Coach Carmelo got hot in the fourth quarter, but other than that, there's 2 games in a row now where the bench production hasn't really been there like it was in the first game. Are you pretty concerned about this, or is it just something you think will work itself out?
Look, we just got to score. I've said this before, whether it's off the bench or the starters, as long as our shots are there. Melo got hot late. It is what it is. To me, the story was with the 3-point shooting. I thought we got good looks. The guys who took threes for us.
What, bruh? Eric, I can't take him saying he thinks they got good looks from 3. I can't. I cannot take him saying they got good looks from 3. And then also think that they did a good job contesting their threes. Like, in his mind, we got higher quality 3-point looks than they did. Mm-hmm. Somehow.
Yep, and that's why it won't change for game 4. It's just like, we just got to make those next game.
Good threes. So, I'm not as concerned. It's good when we get scoring off the bench. As I've said, my concern is how we score as a team and how that comes about.
Apparently not.
Dwight James, NBC Sports Northwest.
Terry, in the playoffs, does your problems defensively put more pressure on your offense? In the playoffs, sometimes it's tougher to score, and your offense is seemingly going to have to score a lot of points to win these games.
Well, honestly, you look at outside of the last 5 minutes of the first quarter, I thought defensively we were pretty solid. I mean, they had 25 points in the second quarter. They had 20 points in the third quarter until we started fouling at the end. They made some big shots. But, I didn't think
36 in the fourth, by the way, but notice how he didn't say that. Yeah.
They had 20 points in the first 7 minutes, so they were still on pace for over 30 points. So it's not like it was only the first 5 minutes. Like, we were still not great defensively initially in the first quarter, even though it was better than the second half of the first quarter. But, like, it's not like we were on pace to shut them down in the first quarter and then we made these substitutions and they went on a run like they did. We weren't great defensively up until that point either. But, like, we were scoring though, so it didn't matter because, like I said, as long as we're scoring, it's fine that our defense is crap. But, like, the minute our offense stopped working and we just gave up easy bucket after easy bucket. But yeah, I wouldn't say there was many points in this game outside of a few Rondae Hollis-Jefferson possessions, those mellow possessions when he was on Jokic, and maybe a few random possessions throughout the game that I would say we played anywhere near even competent defense, let alone good.
Bro, it's like we can have a bad defensive game and it'll like cherry pick like a section of the game where we did good and say, well, I mean, you take out this and we actually did pretty good. Like, bro, okay, you better not play Cantor next game then.
48-point first quarter against the Clippers, we played really good defense that game.
Like, bro, okay, if you're saying that, take out the Cantor minutes and we played pretty good defense, then why in the world are you playing Cantor? Because, like, guess what? Yeah, no shit. Like, of course. It's what we've been saying. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. And him saying, well, it's obvious, in regards to why he substitute Rondae Hollis-Jefferson over Cantor. But it's like, bro, you waited until you sub back Cantor in the second half of game 3, by the way, okay? And then he commits a flagrant foul, then you finally do it. You should have seen this after game 1. You should have seen this after game 2. You should have seen this after the first half of tonight's game, and you still did it. You still sub him in the second half. But then after the game, it's like, oh, you take out the last 6 minutes of the first quarter, we played pretty good defense, You take out the 6 minutes that Enes Kanter played. Like, bro, if that's the case, then why are you playing him? And why'd you sub him back in the second half, too? If it's his fault and not yours.
Mm-hmm.
Just reading between the lines there. Like, it's not consistent, Like, but then it's like he's asked about it. I haven't thought about what we're going to do with Kanter.
Like to watch film.
Yeah. If he comes back out with Enes Kanter in game 4, bro, I don't see how there's anybody on the face of this earth that can say that he deserves to come back next year if he comes out with Kanter in game 4, especially like considering the comments that he's had in this post-game press conference. Because he's basically saying it's obvious, why you'd play Rondae Hollis-Jefferson over Kanter, and Kanter's 6 minutes that he played screwed over our good defensive game and all. That's basically what he's saying. So if he plays Kanter in game 4, he is more incompetent than even I thought, and I think he's very incompetent as a head coach. Like, it would be another level that I didn't think was even possible, Eric.
Man, I almost want him to just have a video of your reaction.
Oh, bro.
I mean, for your health, I hope he doesn't. But
no, I hope he does. Screw him.
I kind of want that video out there. I would love it. Yeah, starting at like 6 minutes left in the first, you're gonna have to just live record yourself until.
Bro, I will have the camera ready, bro. I will hit record the first time I see Enes Kanter stand up. We got 22 seconds left. I don't know if we can make it.
Fouling at the end, they made some big shots, but I didn't think our defense. It certainly wasn't like game 2. Game 2 was a poor defensive game, no question. But like I said, other than that 5-minute stretch at the end of the first quarter, I thought we were pretty solid. But they ended up making big plays.
Well, You better not play him next game, Terry. But we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if you did. So. Anyway, how y'all doing, chat? Y'all enjoy that? Or, are you guys entertained? Are you guys feeling better somehow?
They're entertaining themselves by making up Terry Stott's Google searches.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, we're 2 hours into this stream. Is there anything left to touch on for this travesty, Eric?
Zach really wants us to watch Nurk, but we kind of already made the big comment from it.
Yeah. I mean, we could make this stream 3 hours, but I don't really want to. It's already past midnight, so... I think we're going to wrap up the stream. So... Yeah, definitely watch Nurkic's interview if you're interested, though. I recommend that because it sounds like he's the only one that's willing to spit some truth around these parts. So, yeah. Anyway, the Blazers lose Game 3. This is going to be a tough series if we're going to do the things we did tonight. Now, going into Game 4, the Blazers, it's a must-win for the Blazers. What's funny is Game 2 was a must-win for the Nuggets. Well, Game 4 is a must-win for the Blazers. In this situation, I mean, if you lose Game 4, I mean, you're going to have to win 2 out of 3 on the road, and you're going to have to win 3 in a row, basically. Yeah, you're going to have to win 3 in a row with 2 of those 3 being on the road. That's not going to be very easy to do. So, yeah. I don't know. We'll see what the Blazers can do in Game 4. We'll see if he plays Enes Kanter. We'll see... I mean, well, yeah. I mean, this. I don't know. I don't even know what to say for an outro, man. I'm not prepared to even do an outro. I'm just burnt. I'm just fried. My brain is fried. I just listened to Terry Stott, so I can't think anymore.
Shout out to Jimmy Cleveland for the $5 dono with the. Is that yawning or?
I think that's a laughing sticker. But what is that? Is that a? I don't know what exactly that is, but whatever it is, it's laughing. So appreciate it, Jimmy Cleveland.
Dude, yeah. So I got you. So we'll be back after Game 4. I might be a little late because I will be at the game. I will have my meltdown in person at the Moda Center when Kanter enters the game in the first quarter.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah. Tori might have to handle the beginning of that one, but I will be here shortly after the beginning of the stream. And now I'm kind of bummed about going to the game.
Yep. I will be trying to go to Game 6 most likely, if there is a Game 6. If the Blazers win that, there will be a Game 6, and that's the game I'm going to try and go to. So for that stream... obviously I wouldn't be able to go live until like 25-30 minutes after the game, so I will let you guys know if that's the case whenever I do go to a game. But I'm not going to Game 4, so might have to solo stream it since Eric's going. But it would be nice to get back in the arena, even if it's the end of the season into Game 6. I mean, we'll see. So yeah,
I'm just hoping there is a Game 6 in this.
I know. That's the thing. It's like if they won tonight, there would be like guaranteed 2 home games left. Because the Denver would need 6 to win, or the Blazers would make the second round. So I was hoping they'd win tonight, just so I would like be guaranteed to be able to like have a chance to go to the game. Because I don't know, I'm just not gonna go on a Saturday. Hopefully ticket prices will be a little bit lower. And I just got to DoorDash a little bit more. Gotta because I don't know. I'm trying to sit close-ish, because then I can see what's going on. If I'm sitting 300 level, it's going to be hard to kind of like break things down as in depth as I do. But that's the thing. I haven't been to a game in so long. We used to do that last year and kind of work out post-game shows around that. But we haven't missed a game this year, Eric. And we've been pretty much on time every single game. So we've been a model of consistency. I wish we could say that about the team. But
all right. To Daniel, I'm sorry for calling Campazzo stupid. I don't even recall saying that, but yeah.
Campazzo is stupid. There, I said it.
Now you're gonna feel his wrath.
Yeah. Tell me off, bro. My goodness.
I was just saying, like, if you want to, like, dude.
Bro, don't come out here with your self-righteous crap, man. I hate when people come up with self-righteous things, man. There's a lot worse things that were said on Twitter that you should be going after right now if you want to police the things that people are saying, Daniel.
Insert any player there. It wasn't directed at him, but like, if you would have told me after the first time I watched Campazzo play that he would kill us in a playoff series this year, I would have told you were stupid too. So like, I don't know, like that guy is. I mean, he came on at the end of the season. He's had a good run. He's 30-year-old rookie or however old he is. That's fine. There's no way that our backcourt should be outplayed by Austin Rivers and Facu Campazzo or whatever the frick his name is. Like, that is stupid that our backcourt is being dominated by a team with that starting backcourt.
We're getting dominated by a guy named Facundo, bro. I mean, this is an awesome name. I'll give him that. But yeah, I mean, the dude averaged 6 points per game, 3.5 assists, shooting 38% from the field, 35% from three. There's no reason he should be doing what he's doing to us, man. If you told me they were going to be starting Austin Rivers and Campazzo, man, in the playoffs.
Can you guys just tell us what happened on Twitter instead of being like, check Twitter, look at Chris Paul's Twitter?
We'll figure it out after. We're signing off, so yeah. Anyway, we will catch you guys on Saturday. That's an earlier tip time, so we'll be live in the afternoon. So maybe we get to rage all throughout the rest of the day. I don't know. Let's see what the Blazers end up doing in Game 4. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, I don't know, man. It's a must-win for the Blazers at that point. Can tie up the series going 2-2. Still have to win another game in Denver if they want to win this series, sadly, because Denver took back home court advantage. But you gotta take care of business one game at a time. Gotta improve. If we see Enes Kanter in Game 4, I will rage. Will you yell anything if we see Kanter in the game, Eric?
I don't know. I might bash my head into one of the walls there and pass myself out. I don't know.
Because you're sitting 300 level.
Yeah. I'm a row from the top, so in the unvaccinated section because I still have 10 days till I'm fully vaxxed. But yeah, so I'll have room to like go bang my head against the wall if I see that.
Yep. Chris Paul said Mickey Mouse ring. Apparently, yeah, he got hacked. If that was him, that'd be funny though. The Suns fans feel.
I hope he didn't get hacked.
I know. I hope that is real, honestly. So, yeah. Anyway, Damani, he could come in and have a 60-point game that will not excuse how dumb of a decision it would be to play him, bro. Because he has been terrible. And Stotts even said it was obvious how bad he was today, basically, in that he screwed over our good defensive game, and that's his own words. So if he subs him in, it doesn't even matter what he does, if he does good, bad. According to Terry Stotts' own words, it would be dumb to sub him in. So, yeah, I don't want anybody saying, he played great, see, you told you something. Bro, he's been awful 3 games. It's obviously not working. Sure, crazy things can happen, but you gotta give yourself the best chance to win. The best chance to win is not playing Enes Kanter. So if you're, as the coach, you're not giving yourself the best chance to win, then that's on you. And you shouldn't get credit if you make a dumb decision that somehow works out. So that's how I'm looking at it. Just please don't play Enes Kanter. Please don't play Enes Kanter. I just can't. I can't. Martin says Kanter will have a 60-point game and we'll still have a plus-minus of -60. Yeah, they'll have 200 points. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, anything left to say, Eric? Do you want to say anything?
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. It's been a great stream. Thanks for letting us rant like always. And thanks for everyone who participated in chat, all our members, all our donations. We appreciate all of you. And hope to see you guys Saturday after the game.
Yep. We will see you guys Saturday. Hopefully you have a good Friday. Hopefully you enjoy a day off from this team. And then hopefully Saturday is more enjoyable than today has been. We'll have to wait and see. So have a good rest of your... Go ahead.
Do you realize we might be a few days away from the season being over?
Yeah, and then it's mock off-season time. Let's go. And the Suns might be right there with us, man. So we might be able to get those guys in at the same time, sadly. But into that mock off season, we'll have good content in the off season. But I don't know. I'm not thinking off season yet. At this
one
point.
Last thing, thank you to all the Nuggets fans who tuned in that were actually like cool and respectful in the chat. Appreciate you guys coming in and having a nice conversation with everyone. and not just like trolling or doing whatever. But congrats on the win tonight.
Yeah. So appreciate fans that can be respectful. Yeah, I mean, don't be like the Nuggets fan that took that video that kind of went viral on Twitter. Just be better than that. You know, that's a pretty low bar. But
yeah.
Anyway, we will catch you guys on Saturday. Hopefully you enjoy your Friday. That's an early tip-off time, so hopefully that can set the stage for a good Saturday. If not, the Blazers might be looking at an insurmountable hole against the team that they're better than. Hopefully that's not the case, though. Hopefully they can take care of business. So we will see you later. Have a good rest of your night. Until next time, as always, peace out. Go Blazers.